Welcome to this explainer. Look, if you're watching this, you already know the 2026 real estate market is, well, it's a beast. Today, we're unpacking exactly why this hyper-competitive market absolutely demands a data-driven approach. If you're an investor who's still relying on gut feelings or traditional spreadsheets, you'll want to pay close attention. The rules have completely shifted, and the margin for error is virtually zero. Let's dive in.
Here's our roadmap for today. We're going to breeze right through the 2026 market shift, why speed and clarity win, spotting hidden property risks, what good platforms do, and finally, avoiding common investor mistakes.
So, right off the bat, we got to ask ourselves a central question. Is relying on spreadsheets still enough? I mean, don't get me wrong, old school methods built some massive, incredible portfolios back in the day. But let's be real, today's landscape is vastly more complex. With prices jumping around rapidly and interest rates heavily dictating demand, spreadsheets are just too slow. They simply can't combine live market context with real-time risk signals fast enough.
All right, Section 1, the 2026 market shift, moving from instinct to analytics.
Just so we're all speaking the exact same language here, let's quickly define what a real estate analytics platform actually is. Basically, it's a tool that scoops up and interprets all that messy property data, your pricing trends, market activity, risk indicators, and puts it in one unified spot. Instead of doing manual, fragmented research and starting from square one with every single opportunity, it gives you a repeatable framework that saves time and brings some much-needed structure to your decisions.
You can really see the divide in today's market right here. On one side, you've got your traditional investor. They're leaning hard on instinct, local buddies, clunky spreadsheets, and honestly, outdated comps. But on the flip side, the 2026 investor, they're armed with verified listings and predictive signals. They are moving incredibly fast on these unified platforms. While traditional methods are missing out on fast-disappearing opportunities, the modern investor acts confidently before the broader market even catches on. Literally, no contest.
Moving on to Section 2, Speed and Clarity Win, cutting through all that market chatter.
Think about how we used to do this, the classic slow, manual process. You check the listings, you pull comps, review local data, and then agonizingly compare it all in a spreadsheet. Sounds incredibly thorough, right? Well, yeah, but it's also incredibly vulnerable today. By the time a manual investor finishes this disconnected process, someone equipped with a unified platform has already evaluated the numbers and locked down the deal. Good opportunities just don't wait around anymore.
To play in this league, you need solid signals for smart purchases. We're talking hard data on rental trends, vacancy rates, price history, neighborhood movement, infrastructure changes, and demographics. The whole shebang. Without this context, man, it is way too easy to overpay or chase some phantom deal that only looks pretty on paper. Modern platforms provide that crucial context you need to understand long-term potential well before a single dollar is committed.
Section 3, Spotting Hidden Property Risks. Let's look below the surface.
Because, let's be honest, a property can look absolutely phenomenal on the surface, but underneath, a complete nightmare. Say a property looks strong on paper, but wait, actually, there's weak demand and poor location dynamics hiding in the data. Or maybe the initial price is just super attractive, but it's completely masking climate exposure and occupancy risks. Or it seems like a good deal until you get hit with slow absorption and crazy pricing swings. Modern platforms catch these underlying red flags way early, essentially acting as a shield for your capital.
All right, Section 4, what good platforms do and how they connect the dots.
The top-tier platforms aren't just throwing random numbers at a screen. They give you valuation and yield analysis, investment screening, deep portfolio reviews, and AI-assisted guidance. They take automated models and smash them together with hyperlocal trends. Whether you're doing a broad portfolio review or just analyzing a single purchase, they take all that scattered, noisy data and turn it into actual, confident decision-making power. The goal isn't to complicate your research, it's to make it crystal clear.
A prime example of where this is all heading is letWizard. It zeroes in on verified listings, price discovery, and AI-assisted property guidance to give you that much-needed modern transparency. Investors today, they don't just want a basic listing search. We want context. We want intuitive tools and workflows to figure out if an asset actually fits our long-term goals.
Which brings us to our final section, Section 5, Avoiding Common Investor Mistakes and Sharpening Your Edge.
Look, even with the best tools out there, we still see the same friction points happening. Mistakes like relying way too much on your gut feeling, using outdated comps, flying blind with incomplete local knowledge, or just spreading yourself way too thin across disconnected tools. In a market where everyone else is using high-level data, simply saying a deal feels right isn't going to cut it anymore. You need structure and hard evidence brought together in one place. And this really hits the nail on the head. Here's the ultimate philosophy behind everything we've discussed today. The point is not to replace experience. It is to sharpen it. These analytics platforms, they are absolutely not designed to override your personal judgment. Actually, scratch that. They're here to enhance it. When you combine powerful data models with your own hard-earned real-world context, that is the ultimate framework for buying smarter.
So I want to leave you with a final, kind of provocative thought. In a market with absolutely zero room for guesswork, what are you relying on? Seriously, take a second to reflect on your own 2026 toolkit. Are you armed with the structure, the speed, and the clarity you need to actually stay competitive? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer today. Keep learning, keep analyzing, and we'll see you next.